Just because you have normal glucose does not mean that you don't have insulin resistance. You can have high glucose and have no insulin resistance. You can have low glucose and have high insulin resistance. What? High glucose, high A1C does not mean you have insulin resistance. In order to have insulin resistance, you have to have high insulin. So you can have high glucose and high A1C as like a type 1 diabetic would have that has no insulin. Are they insulin resistant? No, they have no insulin. So high glucose and high A1C doesn't mean that you have insulin resistance. Most likely you do. If you get to that point, you can have high sugar and high A1C with high insulin levels, and that's insulin resistance. But like my case, I had normal glucose levels in the 80s, and my A1C was 4.3, which is actually very low. And my fasting insulin was at 12, which is very high. It's supposed to be around 5, and so it's more than double what it should be. From the look of my sugar levels, I was perfect. I didn't have any issues. My doctors literally said, their words was, "You are the picture of health." I was becoming obese. I had chronic fatigue. I had acne all over my body that I couldn't get rid of. And they told me I was the picture of health, and I was definitely not the picture of health. I was dealing with insulin resistance, but my sugar levels did not tell them that. My sugar levels were great. My A1C was great because it was not above 5.7. To them, a low A1C doesn't exist. And so they misdiagnosed me and mistreated me when I actually had high insulin resistance. I had insulin resistance, I had very high insulin, and it caused something called reactive hypoglycemia, where my sugar levels would start out normal, then I would eat, and then my sugar levels would drop because my insulin would go so high that it would drop my sugar levels into the 50s. And I had reactive hypoglycemia. That is a symptom of insulin resistance, a very, very common symptom. That crash you feel in the mid-morning or in the mid-afternoon that makes you reach for a candy bar or a coffee or a caffeinated drink or a soda, that right there is a sugar crash. And if your sugar goes below 70, that is reactive hypoglycemia. If it doesn't go below 70 and you have all the same symptoms of a sugar crash, that is called postprandial syndrome. They're both caused by insulin resistance. Too much insulin is causing the sugar to drop. So if you have symptoms of insulin resistance, you have sugar crashes, but your sugar levels are normal and your A1C are normal, and your doctor tells you you're not insulin resistant, please have your doctor check your fasting insulin level to see if you could be insulin resistant. Because normal glucose and normal A1C does not tell you if you're insulin resistant or not. An insulin of 8 or higher is insulin resistance. A good level for insulin should be around 3 to 7. 5 is the average, but 3 to 7 is a good range for a healthy insulin level. Anything higher than that, you're looking at insulin resistance, even if your glucose levels are normal. I hope this information helps. I'll see you in the next video.